clients, create more impact and more revenue in your business. Tune in to Amplify Your Marketing Message with Campbell Rapin. Every week, we're going to take you through how to build an audience of buyers, mastering your marketing message, and making offers that convert consistently. We'll see you all on the inside. Solopreneurs, freelancers, and small business owners, you need to stop driving with the brakes on. If you truly want to create success in your business, which means more income, more impact, more consistent client growth, you need to stop confusing yourself and the marketplace of whether you are in the business to create business. This is Amplify Your Marketing Message, and I am your host, Campbell Rapin. I work with service-based businesses to build the foundations to scalable success. When you are done playing in the hobby lane or stop feeling like you should have one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake, and you decide to go all in your business dreams, that's when clients come to work with us. We help them build an audience of buyers, master their marketing message to create predictable movement, and create values with offers so that the audience of buyers they're building say, yes, I want to work with you. And let's get started. However, what I see right now, and we're talking about the summertime or the cyclical bits of business where people get into neutral and then struggle to get out of it. You need to stop waiting for opportunities to land in your lap or fall from the sky because you have been saying affirmations and manifesting them on a vision board. As a business owner, it is up to you to create opportunities and to know how to build an audience of buyers to get them moving to create opportunities for offers, because only two things predict your revenue: how many people you're meeting who might have need for your services or can connect you to people who have need of your services, and how many offers you're making that are focused on results that are valued. And right now, I want you to hear this with great love. Stop waiting for the opportunities to find you. It is up to you to be the engine. You do not have to be your own fuel source, but you do need to be the own engine, and recognize that opportunities and staying in movement is what will build momentum for your business for the long term. It doesn't matter whether you have already seen consistent client growth and you have a pretty predictable engine already running, or if you are struggling to stagnate the client growth and you're saying, I don't know when my next new client will come from. This is such a critical mindset shift followed by action and implementation. And right now, I want you to remember, and maybe you don't know this, but if you do, remember it and hear this, is that business takes time to go from first contact to paid client. How effective you are at the three foundations of building an audience, mastering your message to create movement, and making that offer, the shorter the path will be. And so one of the big measures of success with my clients is moving those audience members from buying curious to paid client. And this is the goal line, but you have to condense that through your actions. And knowing that it takes time for people to experience you means you need to stay in the opportunity creation mindset. Even in periods where, in fact, you think the marketplace isn't moving to the same speed as normal. For example, if you're a person here in the Northern Hemisphere, you're thinking summertime, there's not as much business. Maybe December, there's not as much time in business. Well, I'm going to challenge you on that, because if you shift your mindset a little bit, it's true that some people will use this down period as an excuse to take the foot off the gas. What that does mean for you, the advantage for you, is that you can make more impact in a quieter pond. That means you see more momentum build while other people are sitting at the beach. And I'm not at all saying don't go sit at the beach. I'm saying strategically build opportunities so that you always have a predictable engine. And that's why one of the things I coach my clients with is, even when you have high client pipeline built, and that means buyers coming to you asking about your services regularly, I want you to stay in the opportunity creation game. You need to be in that game because of the period of time it takes from somebody to go from curious to paid client. I tell my clients a good rule of thumb is to look at 90 days or more from that first contact to a paid client. And that's why I think it's dangerous to take your foot into the brake and the gas, which means you're sitting in neutral for any length of time in your business because it stalls the future client growth. And what I see right now in my own business is I have got lots of activity going on. I've got 4 key events I'm partnering with, plus a book launch that will happen in August. What does that mean? It means I will be in high momentum. I've already had people reaching out to me saying, I will sign contracts today and start in September, which means my business will crescendo through the second half of the year. Is that true for your business too? If not, it could be because you're waiting for opportunities, not actively seeking them. And so when you decide to wake up, congratulations, welcome to the party, my friends. I want you to start thinking about how to create opportunities. And there is 2 paths. You can create, of course, your own activities, which is a lot of time and resource intensive to do it. And if you have a great audience, please go do that already, because that is going to be your fastest path to cash. People already know, like, and trust you. Or you can leverage other people's audience. And if you don't have your programs full and you don't have a strong product pipeline with good active buyers seeking more information, chances are you simply don't have a big enough audience of buyers yet. So go leverage somebody else's, recognizing that leveraging somebody else's still will have a slow lane to getting them from curiosity to paid client, but they're already seekers. And you can have a lot of fast momentum by joining and collaborating in that space. And so 3 key ways that I use personally and a lot of my clients adopt, because they're service-based businesses that are creative, offering a high-ticket client service, is networking, speaking, and events. Why do I choose those 3? Well, you might be wondering. The reason is simple. They're low-tech, high-touch, they're fast to execute, and they allow people to experience me before they're ever curious about my products or services. And that's part of an intentional strategy of opportunity creation. I use speaking, networking, and events to go into large volumes of people that are seeking some level of support as an entrepreneur, and say, when you're struggling to connect the dots and you're ready to get out of the hobbyist role and get into profitable business lifestyles, here's how you do it. Audience of buyers, marketing, messaging, and offers that convert. And I'm pulling that audience into my ecosystem predictably, consistently. And I'm letting them take the steps that feel safe for them. And I'm allowing people to experience me and building trust. Sometimes we really lose sight of how important trust is to the equation. It is the most important element, because you will never have a client say yes to your programs or services if trust is not on the table. So I want you to be thinking, as you're listening to today's episode, how are you building trust intentionally through the experiences you build that lead to opportunity for client growth? That continuum of trust building has to be rock solid. The moment there's incongruency of your actions, your messaging, or your follow through, a seed of doubt gets planted. And depending on your audience, depending on your service, depending on the investment level you are asking for, that grain of distrust could be the difference maker for somebody never asking you to work together, or simply using you as a last resource. And you do not want to be in that place. And that is why when I'm working with clients in the Business Scale Accelerator, my number one goal and responsibility as the mentor, as your thinking partner, is to be looking and evaluating, are we building trust? Does the message sit congruently with every other piece of the puzzle? Anytime I feel there's a wobble, I'm drawing attention to it with my clients. It says, sounds good, but is it true? Is it authentic to who you are, who you want to serve, how you want to serve them? And if not, we make corrections so that we can shorten the path from curiosity to paid client predictably and consistently. And that is when I'm really celebrating with my clients, because it's saying, I've got the right people in the room. I'm moving them predictably forward, and they're my dream clients. That's what I do with my clients. Do you want that in your own business? If so, listen up. Here's some tips to do that. I want you to first off recognize, number one, we said you must be the creator of opportunities. There's 2 paths. Create your own or leverage somebody else's. You should be doing that every month of your business because there's a gap between first contact and paid client. You want to shorten that contact. You can do it by number 2, getting clear what is other people's experience of you. How congruent is the message, and do your actions, your words, and your integrity all sing from the same song sheet? What is the experience you need to be delivering to build trust with your ideal audience? Remembering this fundamental piece of the puzzle. When they say, yes, I want to work with you, that is a guarantee that they trust you. You need to continue to deliver against that commitment on both sides. But what's important about that is they are trusting you to help guide them to the result. So when I ask the question, what's the experience of you? I want you to be able to answer this simple question. What do you stand for? It doesn't matter how many programs or services or offerings you have. They all should lead to one thing, which is, what do I stand for? What can I build trust with for my potential buyer to capture their curiosity? And how do I position myself as the must hire so they say unequivocally, I want to work with Christine? You do that through intentional building blocks. And you need a second set of eyes because, trust me, we all have blind spots of, does the message sing from the same song sheet? And the journey that you're taking somebody on, from somebody who's seeking in the audience to identifying themselves as an actual buyer for your services to a paid client, is a multi-step journey. A lot of people will tell you it happens in an instant if you just do one thing. Well, I'm calling BS. Doesn't work that way in real life. So I want you to be thinking about answering, and this is also a big fundamental part of the Business Scale Accelerator program, 3 key questions. I call them the so whats. Why are you doing this? Because your why has to pull you into the limelight. It has to pull you into an arena of people seeking. And that's true whether you're building that arena or whether you're leveraging somebody else's. You've got to know why you're doing it, because you must create the opportunities. You cannot wait for them to fall from the sky. And you should have intentional activities as non-negotiable every month of your business that keep you in momentum. You keep having something to invite people to. You keep having ways for people to build trust with you, for them to understand what do you stand for. As the result, you can commit to. But why is the first so what? You have to know that your why is personal. It's not enough to do this building of a business for somebody else. You do it because you got out of bed today. Why did you get out of bed today to do this? You need to talk about it, because that's the first safe place to build trust. And people are not wanting you to be perfect. They want to see that you are relatable to the struggles they encounter, and you will not shame them or judge them for the struggles or the choices they've made to date. You are not defined by what came behind you. You are defined by how you take action going forward. Do you walk that talk? If not, you could have an incongruency in that grain of sand. That doubt gets planted. Check your own work and have somebody be a second set of eyes. The second key so what that you need to be asking is, what does the consequence mean for not solving the problem your client has? You need to deeply get to the heart of that. It can't be just a nice to have. Otherwise, you're a likable expert that nobody pays. That's not the goal line either for you. I hazard a guess. But you need to know what the consequences are. And you need to be able to tap into saying, wake up. In my case, when I'm working with clients, I said, do you want to be a hobbyist forever? Do you want to create a profitable business that drives impact and income? You've got to stop dabbling, my friends. You've got to stop being in the slow lane. You've got to stop thinking that there's a magic bullet. There's not. It's 3 key things. Always, regardless of whether you're a solopreneur or you're a multi-million-dollar enterprise. You've got to stop faking it. You've got to learn capabilities. You've got to have trust in your ability to deliver. And you've got to build competency in the things that create business. And that's why people work with me, because they're like, I'm done. I'm done being a hobbyist. I'm done struggling and saying everyone like my content, but nobody pay me. I'm done working 24/7 and not having a profitable business at the end. Christine, how do I build this foundation to have the lifestyle I want? Or what is off course? That's what people come ask me all the time. My genius is being able to pull the dots together to ensure you're congruent, to ensure you are taking intentional actions that lead to movement. Movement builds momentum. I also always check my clients. Are you still creating opportunities this month? Because it's easy to lose sight of this, and then you stall your business for the next 90 days to 180. You can't afford that. But you need to know the so what of the problem that your client is experiencing. What are the consequences of it? When do the consequences become so high that the tipping point says, enough? I have struggled. I have tried things. I have looked for free resources. It doesn't work because I don't need information. The information era is over. You can't be an educator only. People need what? What do they need right now? They need implementation. They need somebody to hold their hand and actually get the result, which is the third so what piece of the puzzle. They want results. They do not want to pay for your time. So why are you the right guide for them? You need to be able to know, why should somebody hire you? Do you? If you don't know why somebody should hire you, trust me, that shows up as a trust break with a potential audience of buyers. They have to have 100% trust that you know what you're doing. Have to have 100% trust and confidence that you can guide somebody else to repeat it. And they need to know with certainty that when things wobble, because life is wobbly, that you have had the wobbles and you've come through them. You are not perfect in the wobble. Sometimes you may have been a hot mess crying in the corner, but you had the tenacity, the grit to keep going. And you're going to talk about the tough moments as highly and as frequently as you are going to be the success stories. Because people need thinking partners. People need somebody to walk the walk with them. They need somebody to help brainstorm and say, we're in this together. We will find a way. You need to be clear to be able to position yourself as the must hire. And that is how you get results. But you need to stop waiting for somebody to create the opportunities for you. You must commit to the strategies that work for you. I like speaking, networking, and events because they're experiential. They allow me to showcase who I am, what I stand for, how I've accomplished what I've done, and how I'm capable of helping you get there. And as you start to build this clarity piece, I want you to shift the lens outside of your own justification, which is where we naturally go to, and ask yourself, what is the experience I'm curating and creating for others to have of me? Do they build trust? Do they see congruency? Do they see a human on the other side? And do they have absolute, unequivocal faith that you will be there a year from now when they're still on the path? Do they have faith that your business is a long-term commitment? Do they have faith that you are continuing to evolve, invest in your own development, and know that you are still a work in progress? If you want more clients, you need to create the opportunities. You need to get clear of crafting that experience by looking at, how do I shift somebody from curiosity to paid client? And if you are wanting to accelerate your business or scale your business or create more value to your business, 3 fundamental pillars will lead you there. Do you know how to build an audience of buyers predictably? That is how you focus on opportunities. Leverage your own space or somebody else's, or both. You need to be really clear where you're moving people to, and is the message congruent? Are you always singing from the same song sheet? And let me tell you, that song sheet is a long, 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 long piece of copy. And they might come in intersect in any different order. But the message should be clear. I know what she stands for. And then thirdly, you need to make clear the offer is led by you to create predictable results. And what they're saying is, I trust you, that you know how. Most importantly, I believe you can help me get there because you will guide me. That is how you grow an elegantly simple business. I've got some great resources for you and the upcoming events that I am using to create opportunity in my business. And I want to invite you to come spend time in the rooms that I choose to be in. I want you to go to christinecampbellrapin.com/events and see how you can come play with me. You can see what kind of opportunities I use in networking, speaking, and events to build audience of buyers, to bring people into my ecosystem, observe my business, model it. And if you find that you are incongruent or struggling or cannot connect the dots, that is where you need to know, I need a call with Christine. So make one. You can do that on the website as well. But go to the events tab and use this episode to spark your own engine. If you want a great back half of the year, you want a great start to a new year, it doesn't matter. It doesn't happen in an instant. It is a reflection of the opportunities you created. So go create them. I am Christine Campbell Rapin. I'm a business mentor and consultant. I work with people to build successful, profitable businesses by pulling together the pieces of marketing, sales, operations, influence, and profitability. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Be sure to subscribe. Go grab those events. I will see you in new rooms in the coming weeks. Take care. We'll see you on our next episode. That's a wrap on another amazing episode of Amplify Your Marketing Message with me, your host, Christine Campbell Rapin. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform so you don't miss another great episode. And be sure to visit christinecampbellrapin.com/podcast to get a free resource on how to master your marketing message. We'll see you all on our next episode.